What's going on, everybody? My name is Aiden and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot believe I'm making a video like this, but for the first time in a while, it seems like there is actual breaking news and official news that has taken place. And unfortunately, that breaking news and that official news has come with the Chicago Bulls rejecting the opportunity for the New York Knicks to interview Billy Donovan as part of their head coaching plans and potential head coaching replacement. Now, ultimately, is this a surprise? Is it not a surprise? And what does it mean for the Chicago Bulls? Let's discuss all that and more in this video. But before we do, if you enjoy it, feel free to drop a like, follow, and or subscribe if you are new. And let me know in the comments below your thoughts about whether or not you believe that this is a surprise for the Bulls and ultimately where to next in terms of, I guess, the Knicks as well in this situation. Now, ultimately, if it was me that was making this choice, if it was me that was the GM of the Chicago Bulls, I would at least like to see New York interview Billy Donovan for a couple of reasons. First things first, if you want a head coach to be here for the long term with the Chicago Bulls team, you need to have trust that that head coach wants to be here. And I'm not sure if Billy Donovan was actively saying, hey, we reject. Maybe Billy Donovan rejected it and we don't know. But I would have viewed this as a test in many ways, just to see where Billy Donovan's head is at. Because if New York was able to persuade him out of Chicago into New York, into a better situation, sure, but also into a different circumstance altogether, a different environment altogether. If Billy Donovan could have been persuaded of that, then in my opinion, it's very similar to the players. If a coach doesn't want to be here, then he shouldn't be here. If he's able to be persuaded to leave, then he should go. And it's the same with the players. If there's players that don't want to be here, they shouldn't be here. Off you go into the NBA, into the NBA history books. Go elsewhere, and you'll probably be remembered here as a Chicago Bulls player at some point. It doesn't matter. But just go. Maybe go to the G League, go to the Euro League. Doesn't matter. Go wherever you need to go. If you don't want to be in Chicago, then don't be here. So that's kind of how I feel first and foremost. I actually would have liked to see the Bulls grant that interview and Billy Donovan reject them. That would have been, maybe not the best outcome, but it would have been a good outcome because it shows the loyalty of Billy Donovan. It shows the Bulls' trust in Billy Donovan. And ultimately, I personally think it shows the growth and the togetherness of both of them combined with the rest of the players. Because I do think these players trust in Billy Donovan. I mean, you wouldn't have seen the transformation this Bulls team went through if it wasn't for Billy Donovan and if it wasn't for the players trusting and believing in Billy Donovan. So I guess that goes to the next point here. Was it the right move for the Bulls to reject it? And ultimately, if Billy Donovan had have left the Chicago Bulls to go and join New York, would have that been the right move? Basically, if Billy Donovan was gone tomorrow, would that be the right move? That's kind of the question I'm going to bring to you guys today. Well, I have a couple of answers to this because I personally, I don't know if stats back this up, I personally believe Billy Donovan works better with a younger team that listens more compared to a veteran team that, already has an established game, an established mindset, and has been in the league for ages. I mean, I could give you an example, sure. A lot of people say he couldn't run the OKC Thunder team that made the finals, that had Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, Serge Ibaka, Kendrick Perkins, I think, and a whole bunch more. Thabo Sefolosha, all those great guys, great basketball players. A lot of people, I think even Kevin Durant said this, but I could be wrong. Basically saying that Billy Donovan couldn't handle that team and he couldn't coach that team. And those were a lot of experienced, well-established players that even James Harden, I don't think he actually coached James Harden. I think that was the season when he joined. James Harden left the season after, but I don't know. Anyway, that team, he couldn't coach them well. But all of a sudden, with a team that had, I think, a young Shea, Chris Paul, and a whole bunch of young players, young talent, he managed to win Coach of the Year. And I think a lot of that was, sure, Chris Paul had the veteran leadership, and he's obviously, I think Chris Paul is one of the more coachable guys in the NBA because he knows so much, and he can adapt to any style. But a young team that listens to Billy Donovan's strategy and game plan, ultimately that team led to a bit of success, and it led to Billy Donovan winning the Coach of the Year. He obviously comes to the Chicago Bulls, and yes, he was the one that established the Vucevic, DeRozan, Zach LaVine team with Lonzo Ball, and it worked for a little bit, but ultimately no matter what Billy Donovan probably wanted and tried to do, this team played the exact same way for 4 years. And that had DeRozan in it. You know, DeRozan playing his style. He takes that everywhere. He takes that to San Antonio. He took that to Sacramento. He took that to Toronto. He plays his own brand of basketball, and sometimes it works. Obviously, with the right team around him, it can work, and sometimes it doesn't. Zach LaVine is the same. You know, those guys didn't necessarily 100%, I guess, adapt their game to Billy Donovan. And maybe they did, and that's just the outcome that kind of came with it. But the way that I see it, it didn't look like there was much of a change from the year 1 to year 4, or however long it took for them to leave. But then all of a sudden, you change the team. You get rid of Zach LaVine. You get rid of DeMar DeRozan. You trade Alex Caruso. You know, a whole bunch of role players left as well. This team changes into a more dynamic team, a faster team, and all of a sudden, with a faster style, this team is different. And yes, players in there like Josh Giddey does impact that. I'm 100% sure it does. But you can't tell me the coach doesn't have a factor in that. But ultimately, all the positives I could give to Billy Donovan, maybe all the slander he was given over the past 4 years isn't 100% totally deserved. I still think there are better head coaches out there for the Chicago Bulls. And yes, if these players believe in Billy Donovan, it's clear the Bulls believe in Billy Donovan because they rejected the meeting. So they want a no chance for Billy Donovan to leave. His job is so secure. I mean, I wish I had that job security in my work. And I consider myself pretty secure. So, you know, his job security is on another level, man. This guy could do no wrong. This guy could get us to the 10 seed for the next 5 years, and he's probably still going to be here shaking hands with Bulls fans and whatnot. So it is what it is. But I would still think there are better head coaches out there. All we really need to see is what this next season becomes, because Billy Donovan has a chance to really show what he's able to do with this Bulls team next season. We had a glimpse of it in the second half of the season with Josh Giddey's revolutionary play, Kobe White's great second half of the season, and the way that we played, Billy Donovan has to have a factor in that. There's no head coach that wouldn't have a factor in the transformation that the Bulls did have over the course of last season. But next season is going to be a lot. If next season we have the same team and we finish 10th, then it doesn't matter what sort of situation we're in. It's just not it. And Billy Donovan will, of course, get the blame for the bulk of it, and he will be the one that many people want to leave. If it was up to me now, I'd go and get a different coach. But I'm also not against keeping Billy Donovan, again, this might be controversial, just because I know the players believe in him. And that might be enough. We've already seen Peter Patton leave, and a lot of players were pissed. The last thing we need is Billy Donovan to leave, and even more players being pissed. So, yeah. Maybe keep him around until mid-season and see how we are. That's what I think. A long video. I'm tired, as you can see. I was rambling a lot there. But thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay tuned for more. Take care. And peace.